Yo, I just wanted to do a super quick overview of the stats in math or whatever that I know of. Um, First and foremost, let's say you have a 60% win rate. Oh no, fuck it. Let's go first. First, let's do simple 1R, 2R, whatever R that we're looking at. You know, how to know what our break-even win rate needs to be. It's very, very easy. Let's say your risk is here, reward is here. Let's do risking. Risk is always 1. You know. All right, 1 for 1, a 1 to 3. You know, 3 to 1 or whatever. However we call it, 5 to 1, whatever. So let's say I'm going for 5 R's. 5 R's, risking 1 to make 5 is equal to 6. So you do 1 divided by 6. Okay. So basically you add up, risk is always 1. So, oh, my reward is 5R. Okay. That's 5 plus 1 is 6. And then my break-even win rate has to be 1 divided by the total. So 1 divided by 6 is equal to, I don't know, I think it's 0.16, something like that. Oh, I do it on my phone. 1 divided by 6, yeah, 16.66%. So, and no, there's no trick. This just happens to be 1 out of 6 equals 16. This ain't 13, you know what I'm saying? So this one, let's see this one. This is 4, 1 divided by 4. That means 25% win rate, break even. You need at least a 25% win rate or more for 3 R's. You have to win more than a quarter of the time to be profitable. That's how I determine that. Next, moving on, we've got win rates. So this is a little bit different, but still applicable. For example, let's say you have a 60% win rate. Okay, whatever, back tested, computer program, whatever, or you see, you've got 60 trades lined up, and you see that 60% of the time they win, whatever, out of all those. That's your win rate. That's what we can expect. That's what we assume that will happen. That's our experimental probability that we've got. So what are the odds? What are the odds of winning 5 times in a row? Sometimes that's good to know. And you do 0.6 times itself 5 times. That's how probability is created. And that's going to be very low. I didn't do it. 5 losses in a row, 0.4, because you're more likely to win. It's the same thing. It times itself by 5 times. That's going to be lower. They're both going to be very low because 60% is not too far away from 50-50. And it's, yeah. So that's how to compute how many times in a row things happen. Now, how often? Let's do this. How often? How often? So this is the more interesting one in my opinion, but how often? How often can I expect 3 wins to happen? We know that it's 0.6 times itself 3 times. So 0.6 times 0.6 times 0.6 is equal to 0.216. So 21% of the time we can expect 3 wins in a row with our 60% win rate. But our brain it's hard to understand percentages in our brain unless they're like 80% or 90%, When it's like strange, that's just a strange thing. It's just strange to understand uncertainty, because our brains are always, it seems to be always wired in yes or no. Can we depend on this or can we not depend on this? And that's why chance and, uncertainty is so freaking confusing sometimes, even though we know the statistics. It's just still confusing that we lose in these things, or win, whatever. So how often? We do 1 divided by that. So it's 0.216. That's this part. You do 1 divided by that. is about once every 4.6, so let's say 5. Once every 5 trades, you're likely going to have 3 winners in a row. Well, that's more explainable to me. That's more understandable. Oh, about once every 5 trades, I'm going to have 3 winners in a row. Cool. So like number 5 through 8, be winners. Obviously it's scattered, but generally a strings of wins can happen like that. How about losses? Let's do losses, because losses are probably more important to understand how many losses we can expect from our system. So let's do 5 losses in a row. That's kind of tragic. 5 losses in a row, that kind of sucks, especially with a higher win rate, like a 60%. So how often does that happen? So you do 0.4 times itself. 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. That's 0.01024. So 1 divided by that, 1 divided by 0.01024 is equal to 97 trades. So 5 losses in a row can happen once every 97 trades generally. Are you certain about that? That seems awfully high. I feel like 60% win rate's not that crazy high, but I'm going to do that once over again. Yeah, it's all right. 1 divided by 0.01024. Yeah, once every 97 trades, you're going to have 5 losers in a row, generally speaking. This is that's very safe, in my opinion. I fucking lose 5 times in a row easily. I don't understand that. So I clearly don't have a 60% win rate, though. That's the thing. That's a big deal. Win rate's a big deal, and that's why we like win rates for sure. Win rates have more consistency and less volatility. How about this? Because there's less drawdown. Because you're going to have a win, Losing streaks are the worst part. That's drawdown. Losing streaks suck. So I want to do one thing. That's the end of math time. And now I have one other thing that I may disagree with. This is from the book Trend Following by Michael Covel. I had an interview with this hedge fund manager who had this archived job posting that's been there for years, that no advertisements or anything. So, but I scavenged around these websites and I found that there's a job posting, and I applied for it, and he allowed me an interview. He wasn't looking for a position really, but he told me, you read this book and you come back to me. You read this book and give me a call. I'm like, all right, fuck yeah, dude. So, I disagree with one part in this. It says, so, the late, great Stephen Jay Gould, a numbers man, a lifelong baseball fan, offered some insight into the decision-making process that might have left Martinez in the game. He says, everybody knows about hot hands. The only problem is that no such phenomenon exists. The Stanford psychologist Amos Tversky studied every basket made by the Philadelphia 76ers for more than a season. He found that, first of all, that probabilities of making a second basket did not rise following a successful shot. Moreover, the number of runs or baskets in succession was no greater than what a standard random or coin tossing model would predict. Of course, Larry Bird, the great forward of the Boston Celtics, will have more sequences of 5 than Joe Airball. But not because he has a greater will or gets in that magic rhythm more often. Bird just simply has longer runs because his average success rate is so much higher, and random models predict more frequent and longer sequences. If Bird shoots field goals of at 60% probability of success, he will get 5 in a row about once every 13 sequences. If Joe, by contrast, shoots only 0.3, he will get his 5 straight only about once every 412 times. In other words, we need no special explanation for the apparent pattern of long runs. There is no ineffable causality of circumstance, if I may call it that. No definite reason born of the particulars that make for heroic myths, courage in the clinch, strength in adversity, etc. You only have to know a person's ordinary play in order to predict his sequences. So what this is saying is that statistically that they're saying hot hands, flow, you're on fire, don't exist. It's just that your JJ Redick from the corner is generally fucking a dime from the corner. He's generally going to get hot more often because he has a high win rate. He has a high win rate. That means you can win 5 times in a row. Fairly common with a high win rate. That's what they're saying. And I think that's what they're saying is that, oh, I'm just so all about math, and math is the best. I don't believe in anything but math. I think that's bullshit, because I'm a shitty shooter. I'm not that good at shooting, and I play basketball pickup sometimes. Bro, some nights I'm on, some nights I'm off, and that shit does not make sense. I can shoot a lot in a row. It's not mathematical, because it's physical, bro. I feel the ball, and I'm like, holy smokes, let's go! Give me the ball! And it goes, and I can make them in a row. I can make 5 in a row. And, like, my win rate ain't that high, bro. And that what they're saying is that, yes, the bad players can make 5 times in a row, but it only happens once in 412 occurrences. I'm like, no, dude. Look, it has something to do with your confidence. It has something to do with your body. This is not purely mathematical. When we're talking about flipping pennies or roulette wheel or something, maybe trading, it has nothing really to do, it's like systematic trading, has nothing to do with physical, with flow state, in my opinion. So I think that's wrong. I think this guy discovered math and he thinks he's all super smart because he's realizing this, and he's like, this is going to piss some people off. So he's just writing this about well, math shows why he makes 5 times in a row, because Larry Bird can make 5 times in a row more often than other guy. Like, no. I bet if you interview Larry Bird, I bet if you interview Michael Jordan, I bet if you interview Steph Curry, tell me, hey, Mr. Curry, I have a question for you. You mind if I give you a question? Sure, bro. Hey, do you believe in, like, hot hand, like catching on fire for a shooter? Oh, most certainly. Most certainly. I don't think he talks like that, but most certainly. Because I guarantee you Steph Curry has felt on fire before. All shooters know it. I was just in pickup basketball 2 days ago. This guy was like, what the fuck? He's a lefty. He's wearing these glasses that fucking strapped to his head like goggles. Like, this guy looks newbie. And man was on fire, dude. He was taking the ball up, shoot, score. 3 times in a row, and then the 4th time was like, fuck. This guy goes towards, like, the NBA range area. He's bringing up the ball. We're here, but we wouldn't expect him to shoot from there because it's a little bit farther. But the goggles knows he's on fire, dude. The goggles knows he's on fire, and he shoots from there and he makes it. I'm like, this guy's on fire. And then I read this paragraph that says, on fire is just mathematical. Fuck you. Absolutely not, dude. Absolutely not. After making those 3 in a row, he's much more likely to make the next one compared to his average. His average is 67%. Bro, it's at least boosted 77%. Fucking give me that, at least. Okay, his average 67%. He's made 3 in a row. He's got that confidence. He's got the juice going. And you tell me it's the normal 67% average for his 3-point shots. It's not 67.5. It's not 68. You can't give me one percentage above average, he's more likely to make it? Hell no, dude. I disagree with this Amos Tversky guy. Fuck Amos Tversky. Amos Tversky. You're trying to be too smart, bro. Stick with things that aren't accessible, like flipping a coin, like true random occurrences. Shooting a basketball. I bet this Amos never fucking shot a basketball before because it doesn't make sense. It just doesn't make sense to me. So that's what I feel about that. I think people can catch on fire. And how is it related to trading? I'm not necessarily certain how related to trading it is. But I do think in trading, if we're upset and we're screwing things up, we actually are more likely to lose the next trade than our average. Unless we're purely systematic. Super duper systematic and mechanical, which most traders we can't unless we can somehow put it on a computer and program it. But that's another topic. So I do think our last trade may affect our future trades. We try not to. We try not to let it affect us, but confidence is a big deal, and that can affect trading. That can affect your next trade. So, and the opposite of confidence, depression, I guess. All those negative feelings can affect the next trade if we allow them to. Okay, we need to. That's why we need to become as systematic as possible. We rely on our system. We don't rely on our emotions. We don't rely on gut feeling. We don't rely on shit. We just rely on our system. Okay, but shooting a basketball is different, dude. If you're hot, get him the ball. Fuck yeah, get him the ball. In trading, it's not necessarily that way because trading is a game of chance. We don't have control over it. We don't really have control. We have control over trading the correct way. We have control over making the best trade that we could possibly make. But we do not have control over the outcome. In basketball, you have much more control over shooting the basketball. You just have much more control over it. In trading, we can take that shot. We can take that trade. But, I suppose you can take better trades than other trades. More probability. But at the end of the day, we don't know if it's going to go in or not. Just same thing as a shooter. We can't make it go in. But we can take the best shots possible. And we can have confidence. The more confidence, the more patient we are. Hey, nah, I'm good, bro. I see that shit. No, I don't want it. I'm here for the quality right now. I'm here for the quality over quantity. And when we're losing, hand over fist, we just want anything, bro. We just want anything to get us out of here. Therefore, we go for quantity over quality, and that's not good. So that's why we have losing situations where we're underneath our average win rate because we're taking shitty trades. So I don't know. I don't know how I feel about flow in trading. I don't know how I feel about hot hands in trading. I'm not sure about it. I think it's affecting it, but the more systematic you are, the less it affects it. The more mechanical we are, the less this can affect it, neither positive or negative. Okay, and we want it less because I think I've freaking tried having more emotion into it, and it just doesn't. I think the negative times just way outweigh the positives of, okay, I'm in the jive right now. All right, I'm taking this trade because I think it's going to do it. And it's yeah, it's not really my plan, but I think it's going to go. And I've made those trades before, and we make money doing that, But the bad thing is if we don't have a system to hold on to when we're feeling bad, and it's our three-pointer is not 62% like normal. It's fucking down to 38 because we just don't have it. And if we don't have a plan to rely on, we just take shitty trades and quantity trades and it just drains it way more. It's just not worth it. We'd rather have systematic, in my opinion. But yeah, that's the summary of cool little Cool little math that may help, in my opinion. I like to see it. And then hot hands, my hot take. All right, peace.